Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking that confusing NSE Open Interest report and turning it into your personal decoder ring for tracking smart money. Seriously, have you ever just stared at a massive wall of stock market data and wondered, where are the big institutions actually placing their bets? Well, today, we're cutting through all that noise to show you exactly how to spot the real market movers. So let's start with the million-dollar question. How do you track smart money? Well, it's not about guessing, and it's definitely not about chasing rumors. It's about knowing exactly which data points to look at and how to read the massive footprints left behind by institutional volume. We're going to break this whole thing down into 5 simple steps: decoding the MWPL report, the key utilization formula, looking at some real market examples, tracking the institutional footprint, and finally, building your daily strategy.
All right, step 1, decoding the MWPL report.
Before we dive into the data itself, we really need to understand the ceiling. That's what the MWPL is, the market-wide position limit. It's the absolute limit of active contracts allowed for a specific stock. Think of it like a stadium's maximum seating capacity. For any specific stock in the futures and options market, there's a hard regulatory limit on exactly how many open positions can exist at any one time.
When you pull the raw data from the NSE, it can look a bit technical, but let's translate it into plain English. You've got NCL, which just stands for NSE Clearing Limited. You'll see standard identifiers like the script name and symbol. But what we really care about are those core metrics. MWL is our stadium capacity. NCL Open Interest, that's the total active positions, basically how many seats are filled right now. And NCL Futures OI focuses strictly on the active futures positions, completely stripping away the options data.
Moving right along to step 2, the key utilization formula.
This is where the magic happens. It's a super simple formula. You just divide the current active positions by the maximum allowed and multiply by 100. That gives you a clear percentage of utilization. If you know how many seats are filled and divided by the total stadium capacity, you get an instant read on exactly how crowded a trade is getting. This right here is basically your cheat sheet. If a stock's utilization is below 40%, it's just business as usual, nothing crazy. But as it climbs into that 60 to 80% range, you're seeing a really strong buildup of positions. Once you cross 80%, the big players have aggressively entered the chat. And if it pushes past 95%, you are in the danger zone, risking an F&O ban.
Okay, step 3, let's look at some real market examples.
Let's take NMDC Limited as our first example. With over 490 million in open interest against a 517 million limit, it's sitting at a massive 94.9% utilization. The capacity is virtually maxed out.
So what does a nearly full capacity actually mean for you? Well, it means you need to be on high alert for a sharp move. Big traders are heavily active here, and volatility is absolutely going to spike. Sitting at almost 95%, NMDC is incredibly close to that F&O ban zone. And remember, when a stock hits that ban threshold, new positions get restricted. That can trap traders and trigger massive, sudden price swings. Next up, we have Hyundai Motor India Limited, which is sitting at roughly 73.9%. This indicates some heavy futures positioning and points to possible smart money involvement. Now, it's not in the red alert danger zone of a ban like NMDC, but it is firmly planted in that strong build-up category. Momentum is clearly gathering here. Similarly, we've got Bharat Dynamics Limited at about 69.4%. This shows strong activity pointing to possible momentum building in the defense sector. You see, these percentages aren't just random numbers. They are the literal, trackable footprints of major capital being deployed in the market. Which brings us to step 4, the institutional footprint. To really track the smart money, we first have to distinguish between total F&O positions and just the active futures positions. Why? Because rising futures open interest is our clearest, most reliable signal. Options are often used heavily just for hedging against other portfolios, but naked futures positions, that generally screams clear directional conviction from the big players.
Now, knowing the stadium seats are full is great, but it's not enough. You need to know which team the crowd is actually cheering for. We do this by merging price direction with open interest direction. This is absolutely crucial. So here is how those combinations break down. If futures OI is rising strongly and the price is going up, you're looking at a classic long buildup. That's serious bullish conviction. But if the price is dropping while open interest is still going up, that's a short buildup. Smart money is actively betting against the stock. Now, if the price shoots up but OI drops, that's short covering. The bears are getting squeezed and running for the exits. And if both the price and OI are dropping together, that's long unwinding, meaning the early buyers are simply packing up and taking their profits.
Finally, step 5, building your daily strategy. You can take everything we just talked about and immediately start categorizing your daily NSE data into specific buckets to track exactly where the momentum is flowing. Imagine scanning the market each day and instantly separating stocks into a near band list to anticipate volatility, or isolating the fresh long buildups to see exactly where new, bullish money is flowing right now. It completely transforms how you view the market. But hey, before you rush out and start placing trades, we need a sobering reality check. High open interest alone does not mean a stock is bullish. It only shows participation. You absolutely cannot see a stock at 90% utilization and just assume it's going to the moon. Because remember, for every single buyer adding to that open interest, there is a seller taking the exact opposite side of that trade. To avoid getting trapped, you absolutely must combine your open interest findings with a few other essential metrics: price action, volume, delivery data, OI change, and the broader sector trend. Think of it this way. Open interest gives you the volume of the crowd, but these other metrics confirm the direction they're all marching. So now that you have the ultimate decoder ring for tracking the smart money, how are you going to use it to navigate the chaos of tomorrow's market? Knowing that high OI only shows participation, what other indicators will you combine with your analysis tomorrow? Take this framework, apply it to the daily data, and start uncovering where the real momentum is hiding.